Well, hello my lovelies, it's Murky Meg here. It's Sunday the 12th of September and yesterday was 9/11, and while the world watched for the whole day and remembered, it seems that Harry and Meghan had other ideas. Now, a lot of people are divided on this. On their Archwell website, they changed it to black and they put all the names of the people that died in the attack. They paid tribute to the victims of 9/11 on their 20th anniversary, and they showed the names of the almost 3,000 people that lost their lives. Blacked out the website or the post that it was on, did the names in white text and simply said in memory, and obviously the date, which was obviously the 11th of September 2001. Now this has divided a lot of people. Some people are saying, well, she's an American, she has every right to pay tribute. Some people are saying they've done this for publicity. The only thing that I will say that I know as a fact is that their website, Archwell, mines people's data. Now, I've done a video on this before. I've popped a link in the right-hand corner if you want to go and revisit that, or if you haven't seen it. When you go and visit their site, cookies will harvest your data. You can accept them or you don't, but the majority of this website will take your personal information and they will be able to sell it on. It's in the terms and conditions. It's in the fine print of the website. They have a legal right to your information. So as soon as you go on to that website, they know pretty much a lot about you. Then that information is theirs to do with what they please. And the majority of these sort of sites that do this will then sell your data on to a third party. Now that is my first issue with this. A lot of people have voiced their opinion on social media and said, well, I knew somebody that tragically lost their lives in this attack. I don't find it very ethical that you put their name out without contacting the families. Did they contact almost 3,000 families before they put the names out? I don't think so. And the thing is with Meghan and Harry is that they've done so many things previously where they've jumped on the bandwagon and clearly just done something for PR and notoriety, that when they probably are doing something thoughtful in memory, it comes off as disingenuous. And a lot of people are saying, well, why don't they do this every year? Why not on the 11th of September, they had the Sussex Royal while one of these anniversaries was going on. No mention of it whatsoever on Sussex Royal when they had that Instagram account. Only when the whole world is talking about the 20th anniversary do they then pipe up and go, we're going to put something up. A lot of companies did a very similar thing. But here lies the problem. Like I've said before, we've got to the stage where we mistrust them so much because of their PR ploys and bandwagon jumping that when they do something that could be construed as a genuine attempt to memorialise the day, just comes off as bandwagon jumping. And a lot of people are saying that they think themselves as global leaders. I am sure of this, that they themselves think that they equal the Queen with regards to the world waiting and watching for anything that they have to hear about. Not so much. Their popularity is absolutely tanking with both Harry and Meghan, only just being above Prince Andrew in the rankings of popularity. Ouch. And there's a lot of people on social media and not on social media, in comment sections in newspapers, that are saying that they are exploiting this tragic event for their own publicity. And I get what they're doing now. Before, they had the Sussex Royal Instagram account, so they could do posts like this. It would be out there. But they've harped on so much about the evilness of social media and misinformation that they haven't set up an Archwell social media account on Instagram or Twitter or any other platform. They've only got Archwell. They are using Archwell as their own springboard for their own opinions. It is their social media of choice, their own website that they get kickbacks from. It is effectively their own newsfeed. So when they've got a statement to put out, a story that they want attention on, if they want to push some sort of event of sort, they will use their Archwell website, a bit like they would Instagram. But by doing this, they've cut out any criticism that they can see. On social media, for example, you put a post out and people comment on it, unless, of course, they turn the comments off. With Archwell, there is no direct backlash with what they have to say. So they have put themselves in a bubble, in their own echo chamber of sorts. That's one of her words. I'm just bringing it back there. I would love to know what their website stats are, because as far as I can gather, the only people that are really looking at their website are, or should be looking at their website, are their rabid fans that will go crazy over anything that they do, and journalists so they can write about it in the media. Now, while I was scrolling through Twitter yesterday, I came across an amazing tweet by Carol Bent. Now, can you remember when Harry was talking to Oprah and he said that the mourners on when Diana died, says, why are they mourning for her? They don't even know her. And he was jealous of those people that came to mourn at the gates of Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace. And he got so upset that he was having to share his grief with the British people. Can you remember him saying that to Oprah? Because I can. Now, Carol says, Harry said on Oprah Winfrey interview, when mourners sincerely grieved for his mum, why they don't even know her. Why is Harry commemorating the 9/11 victims on his website when he doesn't even know them? The duo act like it's a monarchy or an embassy. Sickos, the private citizen. Carol, I applaud you for that very, very excellent observation. I really, really do. And that's the point. So in Harry's mind, nobody can grieve for his mum, but it's okay for him to piggyback off a tragedy 20 years ago that still shakes everybody to their core 20 years later. And there were quite a lot of people that took to social media and voiced their distaste at this. Quite a lot of people who knew people that had died. This is one example. We've got DMW who said, I'm upset that they used my friend's name, who was one of the 40 on Flight 93, as clickbait to data mine people's information so they can sell it. How about not using the dead and a horrific tragedy to line their gleeping pockets? And the same person, I really do want to reach out to you and say, I'm so sorry for what has happened to you and your friend. He says that my friend who was on Flight 93 on that list, her family is calling their attorney on Monday. If the list was to data mine and sell info, they're planning on suing. We have no grave to visit, just a field. That's what's got people angry. It's not the fact that they were putting up the names, although a lot of people have an issue with that. It's the data mining aspect that is in the terms and conditions, that they can, if they want to, use your data, sell it on to third parties. The staggering hypocrisy of Harry not wanting people to grieve for his mother and then him using this tragedy and the 20th anniversary to line his pockets on his own website is staggering. They are cementing or trying to cement themselves as global leaders and to be side by side with the Queen. That I see that because narcissism, you have this grandiose self of importance. You are everything. You are the bee's knees. Everybody is beneath you. You're better than everybody else, and you think that everybody should hear exactly what you have to say. You are the most important person in the room. And I truly believe that they themselves really do think that they are true global leaders that have the right to call on other more successful and actual global leaders and tell them what they have to do. Perfect example of that is the Afghanistan statement and also the COVID vaccine element that they have on Archwell going on. They actually wrote a letter or wrote a statement advising what global leaders should do. That in itself is a fine example of grandiosity. Now, if you don't know, grandiosity takes on these traits. You believe unique traits and talents that you set above everybody else. You consider yourself unstoppable, untouchable, or destined for greatness or important things, and that you have a persistent feeling of superiority. Doesn't that describe somebody so beautifully? And this Archwell website is just purely their way of getting their side, what they want to happen out, without using the evil that is social media. I believe that their strategy for Archwell is basically to cherry pick what is relevant at that particular time, jump on it and put a statement out, knowing full well that the media will lap it up and report on it. But it's not working because their popularity is tanking. Only just this week, Britain held the National Television Awards, which is kind of like the Emmys, I guess, but on a very, very lower scale. They were booed when their montage clip came on. Now, they weren't up for a nomination or anything like that. It was just a montage of clips of what's happened on telly within the last year, and a clip of their Oprah interview came on. The crowd booed. Justice. Now, there has also been a lot of chatter about them being broke and how their Netflix deal is kind of on the ropes a little bit, because whatever they put out, apparently not going to be very good. Is anybody going to watch it? I mean, really? I did find it quite funny that a royal commentator said that despite their rumoured 100 million plus Netflix deal hitting the 1 year mark next week, the couple have not released a single piece of content. The only shows they've announced, a documentary about Harry's charity Invictus and the animated series called Pearl, which according to the Daily Telegraph has been in the pipeline since 2018. Sounds about as exciting as gluten-free bran muffin. Yeah, I agree with that one, but perhaps put some raspberries in that gluten-free bran muffin and you might have a winner. There's also rumours that Harry's book is going to be coming out a little earlier. Now, originally we were told that it was going to hit the mid-2022, which coincided with the Queen's Jubilee. Now it's being reported that it could hit the shelves this Christmas. Does that add to the fact that people are saying that they're broke? Or does he want to corner the Christmas market? Or has somebody had a word in his ear and said, don't steal the Queen's thunder? All of those are good, viable options. So I would love to know your thoughts on this Archwell post about the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Do you think it was in bad taste? Do you think it was a nice tribute that, as popular people, and her as an American, have every right to put a memorial post up? Or do you think it's just them hopping on whatever bandwagon, whatever is in the news right now? They always have to have their 2 pence worth in on their Archwell. Do you think it's ethical that they could be data mining people's information that visit their website that are paying tribute to those victims of the 9/11? I don't. What do you think of them being booed at the National Television Awards? I found it flipping hilarious, to be perfectly honest. I actually cheered for joy when I heard the news. And what do you think about their popularity tanking? I mean, it was inevitable, really. Do you think they care? Do you think they're bothered? And finally, what do you think about Harry's book being released possibly at Christmas instead? Do you think they're short on cash, or just think that he's trying to corner the market for the Christmas period? As always, let me know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.